Star Wars fans, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is going to have to answer a lot of questions for us. For instance, why does Vader say in A New Hope, "When I left you," when clearly Obi-Wan left him to burn and die on Mustafar? Also, why does Uncle Owen hate Obi-Wan in A New Hope? Why does Leia even know about Obi-Wan in A New Hope? We're going to get into all of it, answer all these questions, give predictions on all these questions right now. What's up, guys? Mike, the guy who loves Star Wars here, and we're talking about all these crazy questions and how we think the Obi-Wan Kenobi show can answer these questions. So let's start off with the big one, and it is that Vader said, "When I left you," in A New Hope. So this question is definitely going to be answered in Obi-Wan because they're going to be fighting again, the rematch of the century, as Kathleen Kennedy once said. So this fight is going to have to end with Vader leaving Obi-Wan because when I left you, Vader says that to Obi-Wan. So it's obvious that Mustafar fight was not the last time that they saw each other before they fought on the Death Star, leading to Obi-Wan dying and becoming a Force ghost. Spoiler alert. That movie came out in 1977, people. Calm down. So the rematch of the century will most likely happen in the finale, but there are rumors that they might be facing off twice in this series, so that would be awesome. And in the last one, Vader is definitely going to leave him because when I left you, I was but the learner, and now I am the master. So that's how the line goes, and that's how the story is going to go. And Vader's going to leave Obi-Wan when they fight in the finale. That's how it's going to end. We don't know how the fight's going to happen. We don't know if Obi-Wan's going to get just crapped on. We don't know if Vader's going to get crapped on. But some way or another, Vader is going to leave him. Another question is, why does Uncle Owen hate Obi-Wan in A New Hope? When Luke Skywalker even mentions old Ben Kenobi, his uncle is pissed. He's like, "No, don't go near that guy. We hate that guy. That guy's the worst. We hate him. We hate him. We hate him." Right? 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 We hate him. But clearly, at the end of Revenge of the Sith, when Obi-Wan drops Luke off with him and Aunt Peru, he doesn't seem too unhappy with him. There's no reason for him to be unhappy. He's dropped him off a kid. And he seems pretty happy about it. He's like, "Hey, a kid, a baby, let me take care of him. I'm not mad at you. Why would I be mad at you?" So something has to happen in the show that makes Uncle Owen just like completely anti-Ben Kenobi. What I think is going to happen is that the Inquisitors are going to find Obi-Wan on Tatooine, and they might try and get Luke, or they might just fight Obi-Wan very close to the Lars homestead. That is Uncle Owen's last name, Lars. Maybe the Inquisitors might kill a couple people. Maybe they'll kill some people in town, or maybe they'll do some damage. I think the Inquisitors are going to be really badass in this show. They're going to chop up some people in Mos Eisley, and they're not going to leave a good impression on Tatooine. So Uncle Owen is going to think that Obi-Wan brought them there, and he's going to say, "Look, you got to get out of here. You're not safe for Luke. I don't want you around. Leave. Just leave. We hate you. We hate you." That's what Uncle Owen's going to say straight to Obi-Wan's face at the end of the series. That's what I think's going to happen. He's going to come back to Tatooine after he's fought this crazy battle, who knows where, versus Darth Vader. And Uncle Owen's going to say, "Stay away. Go away. We don't want you. We don't want you here." So another question that has to be answered is, how does Leia even know about Obi-Wan in A New Hope? She says, "Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope." How do you know? How do you know that? So we do know that Obi-Wan and her dad, Bail Organa, spent time on Coruscant together. He was part of the Senate, and Obi-Wan was a part of the Jedi Temple, so they spent time together in Revenge of the Sith. We've seen them interact. So we know that they know each other. So maybe her dad was like, "Hey, look, there's this guy, Obi-Wan. We good homies back in the day. So, you should go ask him for help. He's going to save you. He's going to save you. He is, in fact, our only hope. So please go ask him for help because he's our only one. He's the only hope. You must go ask Obi-Wan." That could be what happens. I think that maybe even Leia has a connection to Obi-Wan through this show. This is a young Leia, could be captured by the Inquisitors, and Obi-Wan has to go help her. This would make a lot of sense because Obi-Wan's already saved her, so she already knows of Obi-Wan, the guy who saved her years ago. So he's her only hope. You gotta help me. You gotta help me. Help me, Obi-Wan. Help me. So an obvious question that every fan wants to be answered in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is, how does Obi-Wan know how to become a Force ghost? So it is in canon that Qui-Gon teaches Obi-Wan while he's spending time in the deserts of Tatooine how to become a Force ghost, much like Qui-Gon teaches Yoda on Dagobah how to become a Force ghost. So together they're like the Force ghosters. And they're the Force Ghostbusters. And so we know that Qui-Gon's going to train Obi-Wan. But the real question is Qui-Gon, Liam Neeson himself, going to show up in this show? That's the real question. That's all we want to know. Is Liam Neeson going to show up in Kenobi? If the first episode opens with Obi-Wan meditating and you hear Liam Neeson's voice and he even shows up, that would be unbelievable. believable. People would lose their minds. Absolutely lose their minds. But it definitely would answer the question on how Obi-Wan knows how to become a Force ghost after he dies. So last but not least, and this question definitely needs to be answered in Obi-Wan Kenobi, is why does Vader not keep searching for Obi-Wan? If they fight and he leaves him, does he think Obi-Wan's dead when he leaves him? How does he not continue to search for him? Especially if the Inquisitors go to Tatooine and know that Obi-Wan's on Tatooine, how do they not go back to Tatooine? How do they not go looking for Obi-Wan Kenobi, especially if he goes back to Tatooine? Because they already know that he was there once, if that is how the show plays out. But how does Vader just stop looking for his master? How does he just stop looking for one of the strongest Jedi that is still alive? He just stops looking for him. After he fights him in this crazy rematch of the century, for 10 whole years, he just stops looking for him. He says, whatever, he'll come find me in 10 years, and we'll fight it out on the Death Star, you know? No. There has to be a real explanation on why Vader just doesn't search for Obi-Wan at all. There has to be. Maybe he thinks that Obi-Wan died. Maybe that's how this show's going to end. You think that Obi-Wan dies. Obviously, you know that Obi-Wan's not going to die because he's obviously in A New Hope, but maybe Vader thinks he died. The same way that Obi-Wan left him to die on Mustafar because he was literally burning alive and didn't think he could survive that, maybe Vader does the same thing. Leaves him burning alive. Just kidding, because we know he doesn't burn alive. Obi-Wan's not going to burn alive. Calm down. He's not. But maybe he thinks he's dead. Maybe he thinks he's buried in rubble or something crazy happens. Maybe he thinks he's dead, and that's why Vader doesn't even look for him. So those are the real big questions that I think need to be answered in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Tell me in the comments below if you think there's any other big questions that need to be answered in this show that are like, why did this happen in A New Hope? If it's not in Revenge of the Sith, something needs to happen in this show. Tell me in the comments below. Smash like if you like this video, hit subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video, and this pretty face will show up in your recommended feed. I can't wait for Kenobi. We're months away, and it's getting so much more hype by the day. We got Ian McDiarmid saying stuff about maybe returning as Palpatine. We even got Liam Neeson in an interview being like, this is Qui-Gon's lightsaber. I saved it to this day. It's going to be wild. If any of this stuff actually happens, if any of these questions that I just answered with my predictions are anywhere close to being true, this show is going to blow people's minds. And I can't wait for it. And I'm sure you can't either. So may the Force be with you always.